What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. In this video, I'm going to go over several very important things here. I'll show you here. Number one, IRS delays tax reporting change for 1099Ks that you might be receiving in the mail. Venmo, PayPal, business payments, or from various multiple companies, they could send you a 1099, which means you may have to pay taxes on them for basic transactions on anything over $600. We'll go over that here in this video. Also, U.S. tax brackets that will change due to inflation, how this affects you. And inflation could be going down here yet again. We'll talk about all this here in this video. So if you're new to our channel or if you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll keep you up to date here. And also thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. Okay, first up, U.S. tax brackets will change due to inflation. How this will affect you. This will affect a lot of people because you will get more of a write-off. The standard deduction goes up here for everybody. Here's what this means. And this is due to inflation. So this is actually good news because this means higher tax brackets. So it means kind of less taxes per se. Yeah. The announcement of the tax bracket shifts came shortly after the Social Security Administration revealed the largest inflation adjustment for fixed income beneficiaries in a generation, the largest increase since 1981. So 41 or 42 years, 8.7% increase. Tax brackets move alongside the inflation rate, meaning the amount of tax you pay on your income gradually shifts in normal times. But the persistently high inflation consumers have faced in 2022 is anything but normal. So the tax brackets moved up to offset that. The good news is if your wages didn't rise enough, you'll likely fall into a lower tax bracket in 2023, or at least some of your money will. At least some of your money will. Because remember, the way tax brackets work is if you fall like, $1 into the next tax bracket, all of your money doesn't fall into that next tax bracket. Only that $1 falls into that tax bracket. That's a common misconception. A lot of people don't know that, okay? You have to the way it works, you got to fill up each tax bracket, and then you pay all the money into that tax bracket, and then the money that overflows into the next tax bracket, you pay that money into that bracket. So that's the way it works. So, for example, if you were $100 into the next tax bracket, only that $100 would pay that higher rate. So if you were into 3 tax brackets, the way it works is you would actually pay 3 effective rates, and then you have a overall effective tax rate, if that makes sense. So the standard deduction for married couples filing jointly for 2023 tax year rises to $27,700, which is what most people actually use, the standard deduction. So that's up $1,800 from the prior year. For single taxpayers and married individuals filing separately, the standard deduction rises to $13,850, up $900 per person, or double that for a married couple. And head of households, the standard deduction will be $20,800, up $1,400. So all that is actually a pretty significant rise. Meanwhile, the 12% tax bracket in 2023 will go to married couples filing jointly with incomes over $22,000 and individuals who earned more than $11,000. Then the 22% threshold will apply to married couples filing jointly with incomes over 89,450,000. Okay. So basically, you go to 12%, it goes up to 22,000, and then 22% goes from there. Married couples filing jointly with incomes over 89,450, and individuals with incomes over 44,725. That compares with 83,550. So you can see it went up about 6,000. And for single filers, it went up about 3,000 for the 22% bracket. The 24% bracket will apply for married couples filing jointly with incomes over 190,000 or individuals with incomes over 95,375. Then the next bracket from there will be 32%. Threshold will go to married couples filing jointly with incomes over 362 or individuals with 182. Also remember here that these, so for example, like this 32% bracket is only federal tax, only federal tax. Then you may have state taxes, which could be another 5 to 8%, or if you're in California, it could be even more. So you could already be at, say, 40%. Of course, you're going to pay a lower tax bracket for the lower income, but your higher income is going to get up to this amount because remember, it's a progressive tax rate. And remember, there's also 35 and a 37% rate there. Okay. Also, remember that there's Social Security payroll taxes in there as well. There's the NIT tax, the net investment tax in there as well. Social Security taxes, and there's multiple taxes in there. So you can actually pay over 50% of your income to the government. There's also property taxes. There's also sales taxes. I mean, you can easily pay over 50% of your income to the government. To the government. I mean, easily, easily. I mean, the places where people get away with it are the rare exceptions of people that are like CEOs of companies who like get all of their pay in like stocks or investment dividends and don't make like a wage or a salary. And if they don't get paid any other way and all their money is like sitting in a stock and they don't sell any of the stock, that's the rare times that you hear something like that. Now, when Elon Musk, he just sold like $40 billion of stock or something, he just paid a lot of taxes. So now stocks do have a lower rate of taxes because it's a long-term capital gain or a short-term capital gain, but he still ended up paying billions and billions of dollars in taxes there. But if he has years where he doesn't sell anything, then there's no taxes there. Also, notably, former President Donald Trump, in his last year in office, also paid no taxes. He actually had a $5 million tax refund, and he's a billionaire as well. So not only did he pay no taxes, but he actually got a $5 million refund from the IRS, which is kind of crazy for a billionaire or, so-called billionaire. We don't actually know anybody's particular net worth because you can't really see their bank accounts. Who knows if they're worth 1 billion, 5 billion, 500 million. You don't really know someone's actual net worth unless you were able to see all their different bank accounts. You kind of know where I'm going here. Now, here's a good one. The Earned Income Tax Credit, known as the Adult Tax Credit, which benefits low-income workers, will rise by approximately 7% from $6,935 for the 2022 tax year to $7,430 in 2023. Okay, that is called the adult tax credit for low income workers. You can get up to $7,430. So look that up if you're a low income earner. We will be talking about that here in future episodes as well. And the alternative minimum tax exemption amount for next year will be $81,200 or $126,500 for married couples filing jointly, an increase from $75,900 for individuals and $118 for married couples filing jointly for 2022. Next up, the IRS delays tax reporting change, the $600. This is a big one. A lot of people have been talking about this, where you could have to pay taxes on potential PayPal, Venmo transactions here. This was just announced here. So you can see here the IRS announced it won't require platforms such as PayPal and Venmo to issue a tax when a user's business transfers exceed $600. I'll give you the details here on this because it's a little tricky. The pre-2022 threshold was 200 plus transactions with an aggregate of over $20,000 will remain in place for now. The IRS has delayed this for a year when payment services such as PayPal, Venmo, and e-commerce companies such as eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, and other various companies will have to then issue tax forms to individuals whose business transactions through those platforms exceed $600. And a lot of people are worried that companies like eBay, Etsy, Poshmark, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App are going to mistakenly think that just transfers from people to people, grandma's sending you money, your friends sending you money, you're paying rent, just anything sending money through these sites might be mistaken for business transactions, and they're going to issue you a 1099 and count it as income to you. And that this is going to create an entire mess, because when a company, in this case a website or an app, because they're actual companies, issues you a 1099, that's basically sending a report to the IRS saying this person needs to pay taxes on this. And this is probably going to happen to thousands or millions of people. Now, the IRS is saying, well, we're going to delay this for a little bit, but it is going to happen. It is going to happen, and not too long in the future. So it's good that they're delaying this, but it's only holding off the inevitable. And when it does happen, could create chaos for a lot of people, because when it happens, the IRS is saying, well, the burden is going to be on you to tell the IRS whether it's wrong. So PayPal, Venmo, Cash App mistakenly says, well, here's a 1099 for 1,000, 2,000, $3,000, whatever it adds up to for all these transactions throughout the course of a year, saying, well, here's a 1099. We think it's income, or we think it's a transaction that you should pay taxes on, when it's not. They send a report to the IRS, through electronically through the background. And they're going to just send you basically a paper copy of it that says, well, we sent it to the IRS. Here's your copy. So you can't just throw it out and say, well, it's wrong, because the IRS got their copy electronically. So this is going to be a problem. This is going to be a problem. And actually, if you get it this year, remember the IRS is going to get their copy. Okay, so anytime you ever get a 1099 for something, don't throw it out, because that means the IRS got their copy. A 1099 means it's income that's reported to the IRS. So Keep that in mind. Anytime you get a W-2 or 1099 or anything, that means it's been reported to the IRS. So you need to keep that in mind because you need to report that. You need to do what you got to do. Remember, not financial advice because every single person's situation is different. I'm talking to thousands of people here, so keep that in mind. But the IRS is going to be delaying this for now. But the question here is, it's only so long it's going to be delayed here. So let me know your thoughts here on this. I'll keep you up to date. The problem is how many people are going to be reported wrongly, and how the IRS is saying, well, you may have to put a note in your taxes. You may have to notify us that it's wrong. You may have to somehow fix it, and it's probably going to be a nightmare. It's probably going to be a nightmare and trying to determine who's right and who's wrong. And remember, the IRS is severely short-staffed. They're hiring all these new agents. They're trying to, but the Republicans coming into the House of Representatives, who are going to be in control of it, saying that they're going to try to cut and stop all the new hires because they're just principally against that. So, and remember, if you've tried to call the IRS here recently at all, it's an absolute nightmare. Just getting somebody on the phone is just it's near impossible. They just don't have enough people working there. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date on this and everything else going on here in our country on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, just click the subscribe button, then the bell icon. It's completely free to do so. This way you won't miss out on new videos that come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. You can click here to watch my newest video next. And also, here's a big video about Social Security changes and payout dates that are coming here that you need to know about. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.